Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings and mercy of God be upon you. Welcome to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Maryam Mkwanda. We are live at the National Results Operations Center in Tshwane, and we are covering the elections. This has been our home away from home these past few days. So coming up on the show today, we have a great lineup. But with me at the moment is Relebohile Medupe, who is face of Tshwane Ambassador, as well as an independent election observer, here to tell us a little bit more about what he and his team has observed with these local government elections. Good morning, Relebohile, and thank you for joining me.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. All right. First of all, tell us what an election observer like yourself and your colleagues do.
Okay, so our job is simple. We go to different voting stations. We observe if that the IEC and the public, everything is going accordingly. And even now that we're doing during COVID, we had to observe if they are adhering to COVID regulations. So yeah.
All right. So, what have you observed thus far, and compared to previous elections, how has this elections been?
This I can safely say it has been not good. I can safely say terrible in that regard.
Terrible. Wow.
Yes, and I'm being impartial in this because as an observer, I have to be impartial to hear what the public is saying, to hear what the IAC is doing as well, and also what the political parties are saying. So there's been a bit of challenges from both parties as an IEC and political parties also as the public.
Yeah, and we are all aware of the challenges that have taken place, and one of the few issues that resulted in poor voter turnout was the voter management device, or the VMD. How has this affected the elections?
So in the officials in the ground, they had challenges where there were problems it was going on and off.
Okay.
So when you now have to scan an ID, it does scan. It's supposed to work offline.
Yes.
But then when it went online, then it wasn't captured. So meaning that person did not vote.
Okay.
So they had to do it manually. So. Which now became also another administration. You have to also, because now you have to compare the stats manually and with the voting scan. So yeah.
And yesterday at the press briefing, we were told that in fact the VMD worked better this time compared to the registrations. But how come the problem still persisted, such that so many people were turned away?
The thing is, they have to protect themselves. We have to be accountable for our fallout. We then have to remember that it was only a month that everybody had to prepare.
Yes.
So within that month, there has to be challenges that has to occur. So we will learn from those challenges, but we move forward in terms of how do we best equip ourselves for 2024. And also the political parties that were not represented here as well, they were not selected to come here, which became also a challenge for political parties because IEC selected certain people that are in parliament. But then again, it's COVID, so we had to adhere to COVID regulations. Not everybody was supposed to be here.
All right. So would you say that these elections were free and fair, considering that a majority of the people registered, but unfortunately they were turned away and they could not vote?
No, not really. I wouldn't. It is fair, yes, 100%, because everybody had that choice. But for you that you didn't vote, and that means they took your choice away from you. So now, if somebody takes my choice away from me, I don't necessarily have confidence towards you. The next election, I don't think I'm going to register because you turned me down.
Yeah.
So why do I then have to come back the next time?
True, makes sense. Now, what do you think the IEC needs to do, especially for those voters that were turned away and could not vote? I mean, we had a day for special votes, for special voters. So do you think they should also have a special day for those who were turned away?
There has to be training. They have to assure the public in the next 3 years. They have to be literally in the face of the public telling them, this is what we do. We assure you next time is going to be different. And how does the public have to play a role in terms of working with the IEC? And with regards to the special vote, that is a whole different subject. Because now when you're saying special vote, who are you including?
Yes.
Are you including old people, or are you including people that are able? And they were also denied those opportunities. Most of them didn't vote during the special vote.
All right. Going forward, what is your advice, especially for the poor voter turnout? And we understand that many people were away for the long weekend, and some decided they were just not going to vote at all.
The IC shouldn't make the election date on a Monday. It has to be on a weekend.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand that most people work away from home, so they took that opportunity to go home. Also, they need to work with the public. They need to assure the public that what they do as an IEC, it's very fair, and everybody has that accountability for them to say they can vote.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Relebohile.
Thank
and
you
have
very
a wonderful day. Relebohile Medupe, an independent election observer as well as a Face of Tshwane ambassador, taking us through what they have observed as election observers during these elections. And as you heard from him, it was terrible, not just from him, but from the political parties, from the IEC, and from the people who went out to vote. And the main thing here this year is the voter turnout, the poor voter turnout, as well as the VMD, the voter management device, and people not being able to vote because of those issues. Anyways, we are going to take a break, and we have more for you coming up after this.
On 235 Matthews Mayiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Famine, conflict, and severe economic decline make the humanitarian crisis in Yemen the worst in the world. More than 20 million Yemenis do not know where their next meal is coming from, and over 10 million are suffering extreme levels of hunger. With your support, the Al Imdad Foundation delivers essential food aid to starving Yemeni communities. It's a question of survival. So let's do what's right. Donate online at alimdad.com. or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
For a long time, we've lived in a centralized world where institutions held the all-important data and confirmed all transactions. Those times are over. Welcome to Libertas Group, a blockchain development company boasting an ecosystem that continually redefines the way we do business. Our blockchain is decentralized, making it immune to hacking or alteration, putting the power back in your hands with no middleman, so you can focus on the growth of your business. Libertas, the simplest investment choice you'll make.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Maryam Mkwanda, coming to you live from the National ROC in Pretoria, the city of Tshwane. So the elections have been a stressful time for many, not just for political parties involved, but also for the IEC in handling this mammoth task, as well as some voters, hoping that their ward councillor whom they voted for will win. And also that has caused a lot of sleepless nights, restless nights, sleep, anxiety, and who knows what other mental issues that this has brought on. Anyways, joining me, we have our sleep health consultant, JDS, to tell us more about anxiety and sleep and stress, and how can you maneuver? I mean, if you're struggling to sleep due to stress and anxiety, what can you do? Good morning, JD, and thank you for joining me.
Morning, Maryam. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And yourself?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you. Right now, what is the connection between sleep and mental issues such as stress and anxiety?
Well, obviously, there's a close relationship between stress and anxiety and sleep health issues. Obviously, it's the good old complainant of if we suffer from stress or any type of anxiety, then our brains doesn't want to switch off, and we secrete a certain amount of adrenaline and cortisol that keeps us awake at night. So there is a close relationship that can cause obviously a few nights of sleep problems. We must remember that it's not necessarily insomnia related yet. It can be quite acute. In other words, it's sudden onset, but it doesn't have to carry on and become a chronic disease. We all suffer from some type of stress-related sleep problems every now and then, like this time during the elections now, or exam times for the students, but it doesn't have to become chronic.
Affect the quality of our sleep.
Maryam?
JD?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your last question.
All right. How does sleep and anxiety affect the quality of our sleep?
It doesn't necessarily affect the quality of our sleep. In terms of if we consider, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you consider the our sleep staging that we go into, a certain amount of important sleep stages like slow wave or deep sleep, which is quite important, or then REM sleep, which is also from an emotional point of view quite important. It doesn't necessarily affect that. It more relates to our ability to fall asleep or our ability to stay asleep or early morning awakenings. But once we are asleep, it doesn't necessarily, if we don't suffer from any other sleep health related pathology, then it doesn't have to influence our quality of sleep, but it may influence our quantity of sleep in terms of the time we sleep.
I've heard about sleep anxiety. Exactly what is it, and how common is this problem?
We get two types of when we talk about anxiety and stress. We first of all get the short-term stress-related sleep problems, which we experience now in this time of the year, in terms of the elections and exams for students. And then we get anxiety-related sleep problems, which tends to be more chronic in nature. People who suffer from an anxiety-related problems, psychological problems like the anxiety and depression, tends to be more chronic in nature. I don't know if I answered your question, but it tends to be more long-term related. People with anxiety as a personality trait tends to suffer from insomnia-related problems, the ability to fall asleep and stay asleep as well. There are a few things that we can do about that, but usually if we talk about anxiety and not stress, we can know the difference between the two. Anxiety is more long-term in nature. People who suffer from anxiety usually need professional help to overcome it, because the insomnia they have are usually more long-term in nature, where they need help, professional help and counseling to overcome that.
Okay, so in terms of anxiety, they cannot just go to a sleep consultant like yourself. They have to first get professional help, and then come to you.
Yeah, it depends if the anxiety is under control. If the anxiety is under control, then they can come to people like us who are sleep consultants and sleep psychologists to help them overcome the problem. There are a few things that we can try. We can maybe speak about some hints in the short term that may help. If that doesn't help, then they need to get professional help. But there are certain things that if we have stress-related issues, then we can, employ certain resources to help us to cope with the stress. Most important, because that's the issue. If we cope with the stress and the anxiety, then usually it'll be easier to fall asleep at night. But the important matter is not to focus on the sleep problem, but to focus on the anxiety and the stress-related problem.
About coping mechanisms and what can we do to sleep better when one has stress or anxiety, especially during times like these with the elections and the exams.
Okay. Especially during the exams and this type, the first most important thing that we can do is to budget enough time in our diaries to allow us to sleep. You get many students, and especially the people in the IEC that counts, they don't sleep enough. Especially the politicians, who work very hard during this election times, and also students, obviously, who are studying. They didn't allow enough time to fall asleep. They didn't allow enough time to sleep. So that's the first thing that we need to do, especially the students. I understand that students, I was also there. We pushed the midnight oil straight through the night to crash into, if we write the next day. But it's important to allow enough time to sleep. That's a whole conversation on its own, on the benefits of sleep in during this time. Another thing that we can do is just to realize that if we can't sleep, we're just not ready yet. So there's no point in lying in bed trying to fall asleep. It just means we're just not tired enough, and that is usually a thing that is caused by stress and anxiety. If you are not tired enough to sleep, don't go to bed at all. Just stay up. And I know it sounds counterproductive, but it's a very good reason behind it. We call it classical conditioning or conditioned arousal. The more time we spend in bed, lying awake and worrying and stressing in bed, our brains start to pair our brains and our bed as a place where I can be awake and stressed. And we don't want that to happen. That's the main reason behind that. The other good hint that I can give you, I want to stress also, Maryam, these hints are not treatment. It is just resources that we can employ to help us to cope during this stressful time. A very important matter is to allow ourselves to stress outside the bedroom and to allow ourselves a certain amount of time to work on our problems outside the bedroom. And that in therapy we call a buffer zone. So if you want to go to bed, let's say at 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night, allow at least an hour of time to switch off all your electronic devices and allow that time to relax. And obviously breathing exercises can help as well. To relax and do relaxation exercises. That is also a conversation on its own. And then allow ourselves to physiologically relax before we get into bed. There are loads of other. We can take a hot bath in that time to allow our circadian rhythm to kick in, to fall asleep easier. But that's basically what we can do. Switch off all lights an hour before bedtime to allow melatonin release to become easier and more frequent. And then we can get into bed. And then if we get into bed and we struggle, it takes us more than 30 minutes to fall asleep and we're too stressed to fall asleep, it's important to get out of bed and go to our lounge, to what we call a cozy nest, and stress and relax there before we get too tired, and then we can return to bed. And keep this up during the night. We rinse and repeat. We call this stimulation control. We use it during therapy as well. And eventually we will become too tired and then we will fall asleep. I don't know if that makes sense.
And I've noticed that many people leave instead of using their bedrooms to sleep, they go to their cozy nest, the living room, or wherever, and that's where they actually fall asleep. So
Yes, yes. So
I don't know
obviously,
if that helps.
yeah, no, it obviously what I'm saying here is what we use during therapy, and that is under guidance. We use that under guidance. But the important thing is to realize there's two things that I want to say here. In terms of the cozy nest and the buffer zone, it's important to stop our brain sparing up our bedrooms as a place to stay awake. It is of no use to stay in bed and trying to sleep. It's of no use. All it is I'm just not tired enough. So why stay in bed? What will happen is your brain will pair up your bed as a place where I can stay and be awake and stress. And we don't want that to happen. Um, Obviously, if you wake up, don't get out of bed immediately. Just lie in bed waiting for sleep to return. And if it doesn't, and you start to stress about it, there's no use of trying to sleep. It will only increase the stress and the anxiety. Um, I don't know, we use it during therapy. We call it cognitive behavior therapy for insomnia. And these techniques are currently the golden standard in treating insomnia related conditions all over the world. Just one more thing that I want to add, Miriam, is it's important to note that relaxation exercises are not sleeping pills. And this is very important. Many people say that I've tried relaxation exercises, I've tried breathing exercises, and it still doesn't help me to sleep. Remember that it is not designed to help you fall asleep. It's designed to physiologically relax you to allow sleep to happen. And there's a big difference between the two. And that's where the focus needs to be. The focus needs to be on physically relaxing and doing breathing exercises or doing yoga or praying or whatever the case may be. That's very important. It is not designed to help us fall asleep. So the focus must be on relaxation and not on sleep. Okay.
JD, and for the tips, I hope that our politicians and everyone who is going through a stressful time can make use of
Yes.
these tips. And if they can't,
Yes.
well, then they can just give you a call. What is your number again?
Okay, you can contact me on my website. There's a free form that you can complete, and then our offices and our rooms will contact you straight back. The website address is Arkel. Let me spell it for you. It's ARKELSHC.com. Arkel SHC.com. And then they can just fill in. There's a little place where you can get a free, it's a short free session. You can just complete your details there, and then we will contact you straight back. Just finally from my side, Miriam, quickly, I know you're running out of time. This time of the year, it's normal to suffer from some sleeplessness. It is not something to get anxious about. We just need to don't fight against it, allow it to happen, and just use the tools and techniques for relaxation exercises, look after ourselves, and eat healthy, and exercise is very important. Be busy and relax, do relaxation exercises, and then sleep will be a product. Good sleep quality and quantity will be a product of that. If the anxiety is long term and you really are pathologically diagnosed with anxiety, that's a different problem. That needs some, help, professional help. But during this time, with our challenges that we are under now, it is not something to get anxious about. Just allow it to happen. We all go through it. I'm in it. I'm also busy with with postgraduate the exams and so on. So it is normal, and we just roll with the punches, as I say.
Right, good luck, and indeed, let's roll with the punches. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. JD Ace, a sleep health consultant from Oracle Sleep Health, and you can find more information on his website. That's oracleshc.com. And as he mentioned, it is normal to go through stress, some sort of stress, especially during this time of the year. I mean, between exams, between getting a 13th check and how to spend it, between your ward counselor not getting selected, between you not getting selected as a ward counselor. It is normal. It is part of life, you know. If you don't get through it this time, try again the next time. But don't stress about it. Don't fret about it. Don't get anxious, rather. You can stress about it, but don't get anxious about it. And try getting a sleep routine. If you don't have one, try getting one now. It's not difficult. It's very simple. Just things like taking a warm bath, you know, taking a walk in the evening, and then taking a bath, doing some exercises, some light exercise, nothing too heavy, not eating after 8 p.m., allowing your food to digest, having some teas that will help you relax, some relaxation exercises, some relaxation techniques. These will all help you sleep better. They will all help you fall asleep as well, but they are not sleeping pills. And I'm not a professional. I did have a professional with me, and you can share your comments or questions with us by sending them to WhatsApp on 061 766 0355. Alternatively, you can just leave them in the comment section below. Please stay with us. We will be right back after the break.
Townships of South Africa, the refugee camps in Syria, or orphanages in Yemen, the eyes of the needy speak
All right.
with just one glare. We know what it's like to be at ground zero, with food essentials, clothing and blankets, fresh water portal trucks, and even on-site navigators. We use every cent to better their tomorrow. Become part of our journey to bring relief to all. Go to www.ashrafulaid.org or call us on 011-809-8181. Ashraful Aid, under the auspices of Maulana Suhail Wadi.
Did you know a sponsored water well and borehole allows children to go back to school, empowers communities, and is a means of sadaqah jariyah? There are many villages in Africa and Afghanistan that are in need of water wells and boreholes. Sponsor a water well in Africa at 14,500 rand, or a borehole in Africa and Afghanistan at 49,500 rand. Call Africa Muslims Agency on 011 834 8685 or donate at Africa Muslims Agency. .co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Babu, why don't you loosen your belt a bit more?
But why now?
Well, it's very tight, blocking air to your brain.
Haju, this is only a start. I need to tighten up a bit more. Funds are tight and the cost of living is high.
Funds are not tight. It's your haram insurance which is tightening our barakat.
Okay, Haju. I will call my insurance friend tomorrow.
Maybe I must tighten up on my cooking from now on too.
No, Haju, we don't need to tighten up. It's okay. Look, I'm even throwing away my belt.
Don't tighten your belt. Change your insurance. Leaving Riba Insurance is easier than you think. Call Amana IFS for all your personal and commercial takaful needs. 0861 786 393. Amana, leave Riba for good. Amana IFS is a registered financial services provider.
I've been waiting. Gift of the Needy is working tirelessly to bring relief and hope to families burdened by poverty and distress. Our ongoing projects include aid to those affected and infected by COVID-19. Donate now. Standard Bank, Gift of the Needy, Zakah account 272-327-654. Visit our website on www.giftoftheneedy.com. Call 031-271-3102. Gift of the Needy, bringing ease to those in need.
On the 1st of November 2021, Mzansi heads to the polls.
Stay tuned and in touch as Salam Media brings you the latest news and insights on your local government elections, live from various voting stations.
Be sure to exercise your right and vote wisely, because your vote makes a difference.
Remember, your vote is your voice.
This is Salam Media. Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
I want to testify that we have one God and His name is Allah. He's the only one, the merciful. I want to testify that our final messenger is Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I want to testify that we have 5 pillars in Islam. They make up and show al-Muslimin. Number 1 is Shahada, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. To testify. Number 2, Salah.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
Great news for Salam Media. Salam Media has won the Diamond Arrow Award in the annual PMR Africa Business Excellence Awards. Salam Media was nominated for Gold, and the Diamond Award is the highest in the award status category. So congratulations to Salam Media for winning that award. Nafisa Dango and Judy Ali are at the award ceremony to accept the awards, and let us catch up with them. Assalamu alaikum, Nafisa.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We just gotten back from the awards. It was such a buzzing vibe, and everybody was rushing back to get to the grindstone. What a phenomenal thing for us. Well done. I'm so proud to be a part of a team where we're, I think I posted it on our group to say that we're such a small dynamic team, but we're like, as they say, dynamite comes in small packages. And we were given the Diamond Award based on the fact that we were the outstanding radio community station, which I think is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yes, it is. I mean, we have been quite busy covering the elections this week, and it's not just the elections that Salam Media does. I mean, we cover a lot. We basically try to be the voice for the voiceless, and be there for the community as well. So you being there receiving this award, how does it feel, and how does it make you feel to be a part of this dynamic team at Salam Media?
I'm so fulfilled because I know that every single day, that every single one of us wakes up and we ask ourselves, how are we going to fulfill our purposes? How are we going to change lives? How are we going to empower, sustain, create better qualities of life in communities and townships? And I think being a part of that very big purpose means a lot. And I think being the person that I can't sit still, I think I was the only one that got up from there and asked if I could just have a 5-minute piece of a platform, just so that people could understand what Salam Media was about. Because when they see Salam Media, they just think it's another media team. And I brought to the fore the importance of the humanitarian journalism that we actually create on our platform in order to change people's lives and create that better quality out there, and also bring educational things that are happening, educate people about the things happening around them. So I think, after that, it was so amazing, the type of reception that myself and Auntie Julie got, with them realizing that the humanitarian journalism and the purposes behind us. So I think that's what actually brought us out to the fore and made it important, because now people appreciate and value and understand what we're made of. We're not just another media company.
Yeah, we may be a small team, but we're not just a media house. We have covered a lot of stories that mainstream media couldn't even cover, and we are receiving recognition for that. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. And what is your advice to anyone listening and watching, and more so to the Salam Media team?
Firstly, well done. I think we're an absolutely amazing team. I always call ourselves a family. It's nice to see the unison. We never break each other down. We're always building each other up. And I think lots of other people can look at our example and see why we're such a small team and successful in many directions. I think it's for that very reason. We respect each other's potential, and then tap into it and work on the strengths and weaknesses and try and build something really great out of it. And I think with each event or particular project that has come up, that has shown through in every direction. So well done. I'm really proud to be a part of this particular family. I'm actually honored. My advice to everybody out there, especially this morning, I spoke to corporate humanitarians and made them understand that their social responsibility should be looked at companies like ourselves, where we're going out and making differences in people's lives every single day. So they need to look at our purpose and our values and our ethics and start becoming a network with us to be able to tap into, to say, I'd like to join you on an outreach program, or I'd like to educate myself with regard to something that needs to be uplifted or empowered. And I think that's what it's about. It's about having to give back. And this is something through that small little speech this morning, educated those people. It is unbelievable to see the type of value attached to us after that. To see the conversation that I had, people feel those particular humanitarians, the civil corporates, didn't quite understand what Salam Media meant. And for them now, I had quite of the big corporates come to me and say, wow, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. You need to look at it going further. So I think people need to join us, network with us, create a support structure with us, so that we can create that Ubuntu that we always talk about, and reach out and be better South Africans and create better communities.
All right, Nafisa, thank you so much for your time and for accepting the award on behalf of Salam Media. We look forward to seeing it plastered on our walls when we get back to studio. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.
And all the best, and thank you so much.
Nafisa Dengo accepting the award on behalf of Salam Media. That is the Diamond Award. It's not just any award in the PMR, and I'm sure you've seen the pictures on screen right there. What a time to be part of this dynamic team. It's the Diamond Arrow Award in the PMR Africa Business Excellence Awards, and Salam Media has won it. And it's all about humanitarian journalism. You give to the community and you get something back, and something like this, something like recognition, and this is a start. This is a stepping stone, and it's a huge stepping stone for Salam Media. And soon we will be there. We will be at the top. I mean, if not, we are already there, right? We are already there. I mean, being here, bringing to you live coverage at the elections. So it is something to be proud of, and I am also proud to be part of this team. So it is 11:41. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media. We have more coverage on the ground here at the National Results Operations Center. So stay with us, and we're going to be going down on the floor to bring you what's happening at the ROC. So stay with us.
Durban
KwaZulu-Natal has been the hardest hit by the recent civil unrest. Hundreds of supermarkets, factories and warehouses have been looted and destroyed. Thousands have lost their jobs and are in need of food and household supplies. Penny Appeal South Africa is currently on the ground working with communities to provide essential items to those severely affected. Donate toward the Penny Appeal Hardship Fund today and assist us in caring for families for a 3-month period with essentials and assistance to small businesses affected by the devastating effects of the unrest. Help us help our city. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 11 00 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
What makes Randery Jewellers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewellers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewellers to make it special. www.randeryjewellers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewellers, the family name you can trust.
Osman's Taj Mahal Spice and Rice. For over 80 years, Osman's Taj Mahal have been perfecting the art of the perfect blend of spices, pure, aromatic, and well-seasoned. Spices to tantalize your taste buds. From creative cuisines to gastronomical gourmet goodies. From exotic odors to traditional dishes, Osman's Taj Mahal have remained synonymous with quality spices and condiments. Taj Mahal rice, beans, and lentils. Try our range of chili bite mixes, rose and ilachi syrup, our quick and easy biryani pack, and our traditional range of spice blends. Osman's Taj Mahal. There is no substitute for quality.
Africa Muslims Agency teams are on the ground in Afghanistan. Millions of people go daily without food. You can heal Afghanistan. Sponsor towards feeding a family at 1,500 in a month or any amount. Visit africamuslimsagency.co.za or call 011-834-8685. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
On the 1st of November 2021, Mzansi heads to the polls.
Stay tuned and in touch as Salam Media brings you the latest news and insights on your local government elections, live from various voting stations.
Be sure to exercise your right and vote wisely, because your vote makes a difference.
Remember, your vote is your voice.
This is Salam Media. Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Gönüllerde hasretin var, yürekler aşkınla çarpar. Sensiz dünya bizlere dar. Selam sana ey kutlu yar. With submission, faith and patience, you conveyed the noble message, brought us light through your guidance. Peace be upon you, my beloved. Ya Habibi, Ya Muhammad, Ya Nabi, salam alayka. Ya Rasul, salam alayka. Ya Habib, salam alayka. Salawatullah alayka. Ya Nabi, salam alayka. Ya Rasul, salam alayka. Ya Habib, salam alayka. Salawatullah alayka. तेरी मोहब्बत की महक से ये ज़मीन व आसमां आबाद है रहमत की बरसात आती है दिलो जान या रसूल अल्लाह अय्युहल मुख्तार फीना زادنا الحب حنينا جئتنا بالخير دينا يا ختام المرسلين يا حبيبي يا محمد يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity set the agenda.
Welcome back. We are live at the National Results Operations Center in Tshwane to cover the elections and the counting of the elections. And with me is my producer, Selailo, to just give us a quick roundup and throw forward of what to expect in these coming days. Good morning, Selailo.
Good morning to the viewers. Good morning to you.
You guys look tired, eh?
Yeah, we were exhausted. It's been a really busy couple of days. I think right from Sunday with the team right till today and going to tomorrow.
Yeah.
From the Results Operations Center, being on the ground, trying to get as much information as we can regarding the numbers, obviously, and also talking to some of the politicians that are here, political analysts. Just to, there's so much going on in these local government elections. So there's just so many, facets that people out there need to know and understand about them.
I spoke to an election observer earlier on in the show, and from you, from a media person, what have you observed at these elections, and particular being here at the ROC?
So I think an interesting question that you ask, because with me, the whole elections have been like full circle.
Yeah.
So on Monday, me and the team were in the different voting stations. I know I visited Soweto, at Vilakazi Street, at Naledi High School. I visited Ward 92 in Alexander, and then we also visited Kliptown, where the various voting stations were, and I think it was a mix of emotions from the people that were voting. Firstly, if there's one thing that was a trend that you can see with all the voting stations is the low voter turnout.
Yeah.
I think there's something that was discussed, I think, in depth by our analysts and also
we tried to get voters to come up on the show and to share their experiences, but it was quite a challenge because of that.
Yeah,
Wow.
so voter apathy was one of the main issues, and it was interesting to actually see it on the ground, where you actually had more of the political representatives who were there than actual people that were voting. So it was an interesting scene, to witness. And then coming back here again, I think when the votes started trickling in, we interviewed a few people from the various political parties, and there were some really happy people. For instance, the likes of Action SA.
Yeah, we saw that as well yesterday.
Yeah, contesting for the first time, and I think with them, they seriously had an upper hand because they actually established Action SA in the midst of COVID-19. So there was an advantage in a sense that they knew how to maneuver, the whole, not the traditional door-to-door canvassing that we are traditionally used to. So they knew how to use social media. I mean, if you're following Action SA on Facebook and Mr. Mashaba, you could tell how aggressive they were on social media. And they used to do, those appearances in some areas, but you can tell that they really utilize social media a lot.
Yeah, no, they were really prepared for it.
Yeah, I also interviewed Mr. Fikile Mbalula from the ANC.
Mr. Stop Nonsense.
Mr. Stop Nonsense, and you could tell that personally for me he was trying to put on a brave face. I asked him a question about the low voter turnout. What does it mean for them? Because with the various analysts that we've spoken to, all of them are saying people are they don't have hope anymore. People think their vote doesn't matter, which is not true. Your vote always matters. But when I spoke to Mr. Fikile Mbalula, he said, for him and the ANC, they believe that people are basically saying, for now, we want the ANC to continue running the metros that they're running, to continue running the wars that they're running, and they just want to give the ANC more time, which I strongly disagree with.
I think it has come to that option, when people say that they are fed up, but then they're still undecisive and don't know who to choose for. So when they go to the polling stations, it's like, better the devil you know than the angel you don't know. But why not give that angel a chance? They might just be that angel you've been waiting for, like Action SA gaining a lot of support from people across the board, rich, poor, black, white. I mean, everyone has decided to give Action SA their votes this year. And we have a statement with the EFF coming up at 12. But quickly, what are your thoughts regarding the EFF? Because I mean, we haven't seen or heard much from the EFF, and I don't know if I can say that they were complacent or they were too confident in their campaigning.
I think they're campaigning. And this is always the case with the EFF, where when they go into campaigning, their campaign is really big.
Yes.
They've had a lot of rallies. They've had rallies in the East Rand, in Palsoita, and in Joburg when they launched their manifesto in the Gandhi Square. I remember. And it was big. But then always with the EFF, those numbers never always translate into votes. And I think it's the case again today. We'll be hearing from the CIC himself, Commander-in-Chief of the EFF, Mr. Julius Malema, about what are his thoughts on this, because honestly, it's not a great showing from them. I think a lot of the upcoming parties really left the EFF with pie on the face. I think Action SA, Al Jamaa also,
especially Action SA and Al Jamaa, the smaller independent parties.
The smaller parties, quote unquote, because there's no such thing, say newer parties, actually did really well. So for now, I think people must just keep an eye on our socials. We'll be taking that briefing from Julius Malema just to get a sense of his feeling, because he's a very confident man. I'm just interested on what will be his reaction to the numbers. I mean, even if you can see the leaderboard there, it's not looking too good for the EFF. So
All right. Thank you for your time. I'm going to leave you to go and get ready for that media briefing at 12. I mean, not much time left with us, but politicians, 12 is going to turn into 12:10, 12:15, but better prepared now than later. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll catch up later.
Always.
Slailo Mahwediri, my colleague, taking us through what they have been up to in the times that I have not been here at the National ROC, National Results Operations Center in Tshwane, and we are waiting for the press briefing by the Economic Freedom Fighters, the EFF, and we want to hear what the Commander-in-Chief, Julius Malema, has to say about the poor voter turnout on their side, and if they have been complacent or overconfident with the numbers, with the large numbers of people that have turned up at their rallies. These numbers did not transfer to votes for them. But let's see, because the EFF has won Seshego, so let us find out more about what's going to happen in after the results are fully released. Stay with us. We will be right back.